Jai Guruji, hands folded, तहे दिल नमन प्रणाम गुरुजी के चरणों में. With my heart and with the purest of feelings, I fold my hands in my Guru's charan, his feet, where complete divinity, the complete world lies in his love. I thank dearest Shilpi and Ekta. I thank my Guruji for giving me this divine time with him wherein I can do his mahima. I can sing his praises. They say that those who praise him and those who listen to his praises are both blessed in abundance. Guruji Maharaj, please, I thank you and I request you to bless all of us, which you are doing all the time. Guruji is Ek Omkar. Ek Omkar, they say, is the one and only, nothing beyond him. He is Lord Shiva, he is Mahadev, he is Guru Nanak, he is Sai Baba, he is all gods rolled into one. He is the divine energy, the supreme. In his prasad, prasad is what they give us in his langar, what they feed us when we go to his darbar, when we go to his meetings. In his langar lies health, wealth, happiness, relationships, all things rolled into one. And in Bada Mandir, which is there in the Bhati mines, near Chhatarpur, Delhi, Guruji Maharaj used to say that he's given us 12 Jyotirlingo, means that all 12 Jyotirlings, the complete power in under one roof, that is in Paramandir. And we are truly blessed. And we thank Gaurav uncle, who's his nephew, and taking such good care of Paramandir and of all the devotees who come there. Lines and lines, thousands and thousands on different functions and celebrations, New Year, round the corner. We will have lakhs and lakhs of devotees from all over the world coming to seek his divine blessings. And the way he takes care of all of us, it is literally like an army. The discipline, and every person there gets his blessings in abundance. We are, so when Shilpi Aunty and Ekta Aunty, they asked me to sing his praises, from every cell of my body, from the deepest core of my body, I thank him because his blessings for me are in abundance. For my family, for me, there is nothing beyond him. My journey with him started somewhere in 2004, 5. I never took note of the time. And actually, he says, when there was somebody who was sitting in his sharan, and when he was in his chola, in his body form, somebody asked an auntie that, when did your journey with Guruji Maharaj start? Guruji says, Guruji answered for her, and he said, Janmo ka rishta hai. Janmo ka means life after life. Our relationship with him, with our one and only God, Lord Almighty, is life after life. But I'm an army officer's daughter, army officer's wife, and an army officer's daughter-in-law. And I was just about 9 years of age when my father was posted in Srinagar. And that was the first time that I trekked up. And that also, I can't say I trekked up, or, because nothing happens. Like in Punjabi, we say, Patta vi nahi phatakda without GuruJi's ijazat. That means that nothing can move, not even a leaf can move without his permission or without his uh, due permission and without his acknowledgement. I was just about 9 years of age when I first trekked up to Amarnath. It took us about those days, the way the glaciers and the cold was, it took us about 3.5, 4 days to go trekking right from Srinagar to Amarnath. And uh, when we went there, the shivling. Now, shivling, as we all know, is what we see in Bada Mandir. And a lot of you who do not know what the shivling is, Google it. And today we have all the information. Shivling is symbolic of Lord Shiva. His Trishul and one is again symbolic of Lord Shiva, all powerful. So the shivling there was very high. And there they say that if you see two pigeons, and I still remember I was but a mere child when I saw those two white pigeons. And everybody was very excited when we pointed out. And they said that that is Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati, all encompassing. So that's why when they say, when did your journey start with him? He alone knows when the journey started, because it is a very, it is life after life. And of course, that I went there when I was with my father. Then once married, and I married a helicopter pilot, Army Aviation, Colonel Ashok Seth. And then, of course, with Guruji's grace, then I went in the helicopters to Amarnath. And there in itself, again, we saw the pigeons, and the shivling formed naturally out of ice. So beautiful and so cold. And the Trishul there formed so naturally. And I still remember in one of our visits, there was a small, literally like you could see a smaller version, and you could see literally it was looking like Lord Ganesha, and all formed naturally. And I still remember we see there in the cold when the Amarnath opens for darshan. You see very beautiful. You see a lot of devotees, devotees of Lord Shiva, sants who are there only with bhasma. Bhasma is ash. In that cold, when we are all tonked up with a lot of jackets, and there are fires, people are walking. Srinagar is a place where a lot of people carry bukharis and things like that, and they carry these small sigris around with them, kangris they call them. And there, these devotees only apply bhasma on their body. And strangely enough, I won't say strangely, like I said, not even a leaf moves without his grace. If today we are sitting here and we are praising and showing gratitude and bowing at his feet, it is only his grace. And there, so many of these devotees are there just with bhasma, ash on their bodies, not feeling cold. And I used to wonder, because I remember my husband, he used to go for the first recce, wherein they used to, they would carry rations for them and throw them from the choppers. And he used to tell me, he says, I don't know how these people are surviving in that cold, but yes, they do. Because for us, it is beyond imagination. But for Lord Shiva, Guruji Maharaj, it is his will and his power and his energy. So I remember, uh, like when he had come, when I was to my father, mother, husband, they all went very fast within a span of about 3.5 years. All had left, and they were all with him. And I remember he came one day after dad and your mother. He came. It was, I think, Saturday. It was 2010, and it was January 14th or 15th. Clearly, I don't remember the date. And he came and he said, Ritu Aunty, I'm going to take your mother. So I rang up my sisters and I didn't know because they don't believe in him. So I just told them, I said, I think you should all come down and let's all stay here with mom. You know, I just told them this much because he had told me that he will take her on Monday or Tuesday. And he came on Tuesday morning in full splendor, divine. It was about quarter to 6 January. It was cold, 19th of January. And he said, I'm going to take your mother. So that is, he is, and after, after that, that was a period which was like another point. And it's obvious one does get upset, and it's like a fort totally where one has grown and it all dissipates. That's what it was. And I remember after that, it was very disturbing, very upsetting. And he came and he said, then I was wondering how life would be. And strangely enough, that time, before my folks all left me, my son was here in Dubai. And today, again in 2022, 15th August, Guruji Maharaj, he again brought my son right back here because he had left Dubai to come back to India because we lost all these people. So he was thinking Ma is alone, and Ma is alone. So he came. And you see, then after that, why I repeat the word Ma is alone? Because Guruji Maharaj, he gave very divine darshans. Now, my husband was posted in Leh Ladakh. You have very brown, bare mountains there. We were there somewhere in 90s, 96, 97. Yes, 96, 97, 95, 96, 97, if I remember correctly. Yes, around that time, 98. And he was commanding the Aerope squadron there. So mountains are very brown. And Guruji Maharaj, shortly after my mother left, he gave me darshan. Now he showed his form. He showed his Anant Roop. Anant Roop. He showed his form in the form of a mountain, brown mountain. And this is all happening in the dream. And Jab Guruji Maharaj, when Guruji gives us darshan, when he visits us in our dream, it is not a dream. It is his meher. It is his grace. He decides to visit us. That is his bakshish. And it is him visiting us in reality. So he showed the face as I'm looking up and seeing the huge mountain. The face of the mountain was my Guruji's face. Hands were so long and the body was never ending. Anantru. Anant is never ending. So from top to a never-ending form was his grace. And he is having a conversation. His arms were so long and he is holding me rock solid. The big mountain supporting me. And he's telling me, he says, Ritu Aunty, this is the water you have to cross. He's actually pointing me, showing me water there. And I'm looking up at him like this. And I'm saying, but Guruji, I'm so small, I'll drown. And Sangatji, my dear Guru Parivar, he looks down at me and he says, but I'm with you throughout your life. From that day till now, anywhere, any place, anywhere, anyone says, oh, you're living alone, or are you alone, or something, or no, I'm never alone. How can I be alone? Guruji is with me, the world is with me. No void, lacking nothing. Guruji is there to take care of anything. And Guruji is like we read in Shiv Puran. In Shiv Puran, it says, Lord Shiva said he will come down as Guru to bless mankind as and when the world is getting totally askew and distraught. So Guruji, he came down on Mother Earth to bless us all, to take care of us, to show us the path, to connect us all. And he used to say, he said that you don't know when he was in body form, and he said you don't know where you are sitting, in whose darbar you're sitting, because one never realized that one is sitting in Ek Omkar, the ultimate God, the one and only Lord, in his Sharan, in his grace, at his feet, receiving Langar Prasad from him. Can you imagine the divinity and the blessings of that Langar Prasad, which we received directly from his hands? Something beyond words cannot specify, explain, express the divinity or the grace, meher of it all. So I remember when Guruji met me, he asked me, he said, Na kiye. Na kiye means, what is your name? So I said, Ritu. And he said, Ritu kaun? Cheti bol. So I said, Ritu Seth. And I rattled off, daughter of Colonel Roshan Lal, wife of Colonel Ashok Seth. Like I said, I'm an army officer's daughter, army officer's wife, army officer's daughter-in-law. And then he asked me, he said, Bache, I said, I have one son. And I never gave his name. I said, I have one son, he's in Dubai. And he asked me, what does he do? So I told him. And he said, Munde da vyah karte ash kar. Munde da vyah kar means get your son married and do ash. Ash means enjoy life in abundance, enjoy life to the hilt. And he had told me he's there today, that he's there with me throughout my life. Life after life is what I ask him, I tell him every time. And so then I started looking for a girl that, oh, my son has to get married. And I started looking at all service personnel, being from the army background. So I was looking at all, obviously the same crowd. I had never seen anything else. So, and then he visited me again and he said, Ladki Punjab ki hai. So I was thinking, I said, that how, I'm sitting here in Delhi and from where the ladki is in Punjab? How on earth will I get her? But he has his ways and he got her. And she came across as as a very sweet girl. And Guruji is asking and telling me, he said, I asked her, I said, where are you from? She said, I'm from Karnal. So I thought in my mind, oh, so that's wrong number because Guruji has said that she's from Punjab. Then next morning again, uh, so I thought it's not the right thing. So being, uh, like in the army and also being a teacher by profession, because I would work wherever my husband used to go on posting. So I had this habit of taking a power nap. So afternoon, I would always take a short power nap, which today in doing his Mahima is not there. And so then he visited me again when I had the power nap. And he said, Odikolo Puch, because when I went to sleep, I went to sleep with the idea that it's a wrong number. She's not from Punjab, she's from Karnal. That's Haryana. And then Sangaji, he he has said Edukolo Puch Eda Pushtana Kedro hai. Pushtana means where are her ancestors from? That is Pushtana. So next morning again when she called at about 9 o'clock, I asked her, I said, where is your Pushtana from? Where are your ancestors from? And then Sangaji, she said that they are all from Punjab, a place called Sarur near Patiala. So that put what Guruji Maharaj, Sach Dakhand means he's truth personified. What he speaks, what he says, what his words are, nobody on earth, anywhere in the skies, nobody can ever contradict those. So she is from Punjab because she said she's from a place near Patiala. And so then Sangaji things went ahead and he had specifically told me to take very limited people and go get him married, etc. So we did all of that. And he's like, that's what they say, no, that in his Langar Prasad, in his blessings, relationships are there. And like when I started, I said health, wealth, happiness, relationships, everything that a person needs lies in his Langar Prasad, in his grace. So this was a thing about relationships. And I spoke about health. So I remember somewhere it was, I think, all the losses that I'd had, like physical and mental health are always interrelated. And in 2010, like I've been a sports person throughout my life. I used to be the best athlete, presentation convent, Sophia convent, sports captain, and so forth. And when I was selected once for hockey national level, my father didn't let me go because he himself was a hockey player. And Guruji Maharaj, he has his own unique ways. So somewhere in it was, I remember November 2010, October, November, I used to go regularly to the gym. And suddenly I found that my speed on the treadmill drastically came down by leaps and bounds. It was, say, at about 15, 12, 9, 8, 7, at 3, 2. I would not be able to move at all. And I suddenly found that, so that night when I had gone, I went to Bara Mandir, and there, when I did, it was a Thursday, I remember, and when I did Sijda, I bowed down. Sijda is when you bow. When I bowed down to him, I just looked at him and I said, Guruji, what's wrong with me? I can't even bow in front of you. I can't even do sijda to you. That night, Sangaji, he visited me and he showed I was sleeping, right? And one me is sleeping. There's a mountain. He comes out from behind the mountain. And one me is standing at the foot, it is a hillock. And one me was at the foot of the hillock. And then one me was like a magician, like the magician puts, you see the magicians put the ladies like this, straight horizontal in the air. One me was in the air. And Sangaji, he showed. Now, I'll come back to why I said like a magician. And there he showed the me that was horizontal in the air. He showed that there is all infection behind my knees in different parts of my body. He looked at me, Sangaji, and he smiled. Now, Ik Omkar, the one and only Lord God Almighty, seeing what is there in his Sharan, I woke up with feeling very uncomfortable because we do not know what lies within us. And seeing all of that really shocked me. But look at how beautifully Sangaji Guruji does things. So when he showed that, the next morning itself, early in the morning, I get a call for, at about 8 in the morning, I get a call for Seva, Bada Mandir. I get a call for Langar, for Satsang, for the night. And what I'm trying to say is that every single day, month of November, I was attending two satsangs, having only langar prasad, be it lunch, be it dinner. I would get seva, and seva is his way, Guruji's way of helping us and cutting our karmic cycles, getting us out of our karmic cycles. So, Sangaji, November, December, Jan, I went to no doctor. And during those 3-4 months, every day was only Guruji's langar, Guruji's seva. And I would go repetitively. I would, my son was not married, so we had started Roots Reality together. That also Guruji had done. And we would be working together. So everywhere we would be moving together. And I just repetitively tell him to stop the vehicle and I would use the restroom. And this was continuous. And I would use, I would continuously use the restroom. By March, everything had subsided far more. By April, His grace in abundance, I was back on the treadmill. My speed started going up from where I had come down to 2, 1, it was back slowly going up, 6, 7, 8, 12, and so forth. And I was back to normal. By April, I was back in the gym to do all my exercising, etc. So this is everything lies only and only in his Langar Prasad. His Langar Prasad is never to be wasted. I was admitted in with dengue in Max Hospital, and the doctors came. So my son, obviously, he took admission with me, and the little one, my grand one, Guruji has blessed me with, was very tiny, and not even a year. And no, she was past a year or so. And when I was admitted, the doctors came, the team comes, and in the evening they came and they met us and blood tests, and they told my son that it will take about 2 weeks for your mother to be, to go back home. And I was just thinking, I said, Guruji, how will we manage? He's so little. How will things happen? And that night, Sangaji, Guruji Maharaj, he showed Bada Mandir. Bada Mandir is heaven on earth. Heaven on earth. And there he showed in Bada Mandir the huge shivling on top. And the shivling had all ghee prasad around it. And suddenly the shivling, it just opens. And just like, Lord Shiva has the Ganga in his jata, and the shivling opens and rippling water comes out of it, just like Ganga. Ganga Nadika, the water, it's like that. It comes out. Lots of jal comes out. And thousands and lakhs of people come. And like the way in school we use our hands like this and we drink water. And Guruji tells me, he says, Ritu auntie, jal pile, amrit pile. And I hold my hands like this, just like in school, and I'm drinking water like this. And he tells me, "Pani thoda pi, khara hai, nahi to pet kharab ho jayega." And so I have the Amrit. This is all in the dream. And like I mentioned earlier, when it is his dream, it is not a dream; it is a reality. And Sangaji, when I drank that water, next morning, again the blood test, blah, blah. And the doctors, they came at about 11:30, 12, and they are telling, they told my son, they said that, okay, your mother's fine now. You can take her home and she'll be absolutely fine. So this is our Guruji. Can you imagine? I mean, we're just an evening before. Incredible, isn't it? Beyond belief. Only and only he can do it. So health, wealth, happiness, everything lies in his Sharan. So I can go on and on, even friends like my friend Arunanti, Dr. Aruna Sharma. We were not friends. I didn't know her. And Guruji gave darshan and he said, we were coming back, much before my son got married. We had both gone to Ajmer Sharif and we were driving back. And we get a phone call at about 6:45 in the morning. And one auntie, she rings up and she said, Ritu auntie, there is a message. I don't know. I'm feeling very embarrassed. I don't know how to tell you, but Guruji came in my dream. And see, this is again, she said, Guruji came in my dream. And she is Leena auntie, Bobby uncle's wife, Leena auntie, now I think in Canada. And she said that Guruji came in my dream and he has told me to tell you that you take 10 or 15 people and go and get your son married. And then she said that Pelli bahut late ho gaya, that it's already pretty late and I need to get him married. And then she said that, it was shocking. She said that, in your house, behind your house, like where I live, and she said behind your house, there is a kind of a container. She called it container. She is a civilian. I knew what she's talking. It was a trunk because we army people move from pillar to post in trunks. In iron trunks we have, and every time we go on a posting, we just pack up our stuff in those iron trunks. And in those trunks was still a lot of stuff. So I had those trunks, I dumped them on the rooftop in Scenic Farms. And she said, behind your house, there is a place. And she told me in Hindi, she said, एक जगह है जहां पर एक ऐसे कंटेनर रखा है उसमें पर्दे पड़े हैं. Now she has not been and she has not opened my trunk and checked out and there are curtains in that. But she said that there is a trunk and there are curtains lying in that. She told me, she says, you take those curtains and give them away to somebody. Can you imagine that, Sangaji? It's only him because he knows everything. Nothing is hidden from him. Nothing is hidden from him. So you see, like right now, when Ekta auntie and Shilpi auntie, they said that I have to, we have to do Guruji's praises. We have to praise and we have to talk about him and our experiences. I was wearing casuals. So I told her I need to go and wear my suit. And wearing my suit doesn't mean that I can just sit with a dupatta because only my face is to be seen in the video. I could have still worn on my, tracks that I was wearing. But I wore my suit because it was not for you all. It is him. It is Guruji Maharaj. It is his grace. He knows it all. So she said that you take out the curtains from there. And they were, Sangaji, I had a set of curtains lying in that trunk. So I immediately, when we reached back to Delhi, I took out that set of curtains and I gave them away to somebody. Then she said, "You have a shoe area behind. You take that shoe area. You need to clean up." I cleaned up that shoe area, Sangaji, and then she said, "Take 10 or 15 people and go get your son married." So I did just all of that. So and I didn't know her, but before that, Guruji Maharaj had showed there was this lady with whom he had come, like just you see Aladdin's flying carpet. He had come and he had visited, and there was this lady sitting at a step on a step lower than him on that red carpet, and I was wondering who she is. And then when she rung up, and and I saw her, I realized, my God, that was the same lady. And this is how Guruji brings in, even every circle, every family, everything he changes and he takes care of. You see, like this friend of mine, Guruji Maharaj, he visited me and he said, ring up Aruna and tell her not to go near water bodies. Now, Aruna auntie, she owns those uh, that Select City Walk. She's the owner of that. And I'm wondering, who's she? And then when I told my son, and Guruji Maharaj showed that there's a huge ship. This lady, when she comes down from the ship, she's going into a smaller boat and she drowns. This is what he showed. And he's telling me, ring up Aruna, tell her not to go near water bodies. So I woke up, I was crying because that scene was very disturbing. So my son, he said, what happened? I said, Guruji came and he said, ring up Aruna. He said, so like that Leena auntie rang you up. Soma, you ring up, there must be some Aruna in your phone. So sure enough, Aruna was there in my phone. And I ring her up and so there is a male voice that says, he says, Inder Sharma. And after trunk calls, we call trunk calls with the long calls. And so, like in the army, we call them trunk calls. So he says, Inder Sharma. So I'm saying, I need to speak with Aruna auntie. So he said, how did you get my number? I have switched on my phone after 14 days. Can you imagine that, Sangaji? This was quarter to 6 India time in the morning. And the gentleman, he's saying, I've switched on my phone after 14 days. You see how Guruji, he has his x-ray eyes on all of us. And where she was. And in my dream, I'm a geography teacher. And in my dream, he had showed that this lady, that ship, there were penguins there was mountain, and there was snow. And this lady comes out of this huge ship and she goes into a smaller boat and drowns. And he says, actually, we are on a cruise. We are on a cruise and we are near Argentine. So that means South America. And that's the way that you have the kind of, you have the Antarctic Circle down below with all penguins. And he said, we are going to see penguins. So that's how I have switched on because we'll be going out to see the penguins. So can you imagine, Sangaji, where she was, where I was? And this was in 2009. And so of course, when she came back, then she called me. And then, of course, she came onto the line. I said, I have to speak with Aruna. And I told her, I said, Guruji, I said, don't go near water bodies or you will drown. She said, we are already in a big ship and we are now going into a smaller boat to see penguins. So that's how our relationship started. So that's why I said, no, health, wealth, happiness, all everything lies in his Langar Prasad, in his Sharan, at his feet. I have been told to speak in English, so otherwise, like Punjabi and everything is very comfortable. And the reason I'm speaking is English is so that it benefits anyone and everyone who's listening, who's understanding. Because Guruji used to say, speak to me telepathy, in telepathy, in his Swaroop, anywhere and everywhere, where his Swaroop is there, his photo is there. And if you speak to his photo, you sit with him, you don't need any intermediary. You don't need any messenger for you. You just need to be with him and speak to him directly, connect with him. And he has all the answers for our life. He has everything for us. We can't thank him enough. We can't, there is no, we can only keep thanking, and yet it is not. From every cell of my body, I thank him for every second of my life. And, like, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivji Sada Sahai, Om Namah Shivaya, Guruji Sada Sahai. This is the ultimate mantra, the jap, which takes us across all problems, across all difficulties, and takes us to the Garden of Eden and to all the joys that we look for. It is a divine journey when we walk in his footsteps. When every second we thank him, we stay connected with him and seek his blessings, his love. He never did, he never told us, he never, he never gave any sermons. He's just there to change, he just changed our lives. Why, when I told you about the time when I had the infection in my body, that like a magician, because when, I first, I won't say I met him, I'll say he met me, because like I said, not even a leaf can move without his grace. So, or without his permission. So I can't say I met him. He met me. And when he met me, and he was, sitting crisscross on top of a sideboard in Empire State. And so my friend, she told me, she said, meet my Guruji. My husband was flying in Srinagar those days. And he had asked me, where are you going? I said, I'm going with Olga to her Guruji. And he said, is this the time to go? It was 6:45 in the evening. And we were used to going, we used to go to Bawalal Dayalji and all from childhood, from Pakistan days. And we used to go always in the morning. And when I went with her, and she says, meet my Guruji. And he was wearing black drain pipes. He was wearing a bush shirt, half sleeve bush shirt, and very bright bush shirt. I had never seen a Guru like that. But he is not Guru, na. He's Lord God. He's Ik Omkar, everything rolled into one. Everything. Nothing beyond him. And he takes us through different journeys, and then he gets us to him. He decides when to call us. He feels, I think, today even all the downs that I had in my life, I'm grateful because those downs were meant to, he had given me those downs to connect me and get me closer to him. That's why he gave me those. And I'm grateful for every moment that he has bestowed. Inni ki raza mein hum razi, which means that we are happy in everything that he has given us. And Sangaji, then suddenly when he looked up, the eyes that bore through me, it was as if my MRI, X-ray, scan, everything is done. I was left so uncomfortable because it was as if he knows every secret of my life. And that was something very uncanny, a feeling. And then Sangaji, we went in and we sat in the hall. And after a while, like I told you, I had first gone to Amarnath when I was but a small child. And I started keeping Monday fasts. And then Om Namah Shivaya started playing. And suddenly Guruji Maharaj comes out of his room and he's wearing beautiful robes. Beautiful robes. But those robes reminded me of my childhood, when I used to see, when my father was posted in Dehradun, Gogia Pasha, the world renowned magician, had come to 2nd Line Gorkha and the regiment that my father was serving in. And we had seen his magic show. And the thought that came through my mind was, he is like Gogia Pasha, the magician, that he's come to change the world. Ye to he's come to do. He had, you see, he is Lord Shiva. He's Mahadev. He's Ekomkar. He's all in one, the supreme, and he's changed all our lives. And I thank you, Lord God Almighty, for blessing us, for taking care of us through ups and downs, for always being there. Anantam Shukrana. I thank you, heartfelt gratitude, so Lord, heartfelt gratitude. Thank you so much. I thank this divine platform, Shilpi Aunty, Ekta Aunty. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to thank Guruji Maharaj. Jai Guruji. Jai Guruji. Thank you so much. Jai Guruji.